Welcome in Craft and Design 3.0 for my dear audience. In this video, I will describe some different and but beautiful ideas of cool welding project for outdoor use. So, dear audience, when we talk about a cool welding project for the use of outdoor location or designs, then different question arise in our mind like as what is a cool welding project by the meaning of an arc welding system, or what are welding activities in cool welding project for the use of outdoor location, beautiful locations, or what is a welding special used for cool welding projects. So, dear audience, yeah, if we talk about a cool welding project, then the welding cooling process is carried out either by air or quick cooling method. So, cooling through the air weakness the resistance of the steel metal. Cooling by water improves the properties of the steel metal. So, a reduction factor should be used when air is used for cooling. And when we talk about cool welding, then welding activities are essential, yeah, for making them a beautiful organize and beautiful organizing factors for beautifulness purpose, and for the designing of outdoor locations beautifulness. So, welding is a joining process in which metal or sometimes plastic are heated, melted, and mixed to produce a joint with properties similar to those of the materials being joined. So, there are three main components need to create a weld. These are heat source such as an electric arc or flame, pressure or friction. It's also prescribed. So, what is welding used for in my these videos? Is in my this video, I especially welding purpose prescribed. So, the basic purpose of welding is to join two elements together with the form of connections, and welder typically work with metal, a thermoplastic, and use durable fiber material to bind them together. Welding is used to create many modern constructions in our world, so such as skyscrapers and cars, ships, and also airplanes. Beautifully described. So, how was cold welding discovered? Archaeologists have found bronze age tools that were joined using cold welding, but the first scientific experiment into the method was not conducted until 1724, when Reverend John Thelfius Desogliers used two lead balls to test the concept by holding them together and twisting them, at which point he noticed that. So, what is cold welding used for? Typically, cold welding is used to create butt or lap joint, because butt is an unpavement or different hurdles roadmap for making beautiful things for beauteous purpose of outdoor locations. And lap joint also in skeptical levels. I say that we can make it. So, as industries include aerospace, automotive, advanced applications, and laboratories experiment often use cold welding. So it's also often used for joining wires together for making these. So one, my dear guys, question me, why is it called cold welding? It is called cold welding because it requires little to no heat. So welding usually uses high heat and pressures to transfer metals. On the other hand, cold welding uses vacuum pressures rather than pressure and heat. So how strong is cold welding? So cold welding produces clean and strong welds, and the strength of the created bond is close to the parent metal, if not the same. So cold welding does not create a heat affected zone, which weakens the metal structure. So cold welding allows to join dissimilar metals such as copper and aluminum alloys. So but when you see the result in my video and take a look at inside, there's like no penetration. So is welding outside safe? One my dear guys question me, because welding outdoor or in open workspaces does not guarantee adequate ventilation in work areas without ventilation and exhaust system. So welders should use a natural draft along with the proper positioning to keep fume and gases away from themselves and other workers. So what is a basic knowledge of cool welding or cold welding? So welding is a critical construction related activity that is generally used for binding material together through the application of heat. So it is a fabrication process that involves the usage of heat, pressure, or both to fuse two parts. So why is welding important? Because welding plays an essential role in the development of some of the most massive structures. So people who take advantage of the plentiful space offered by some of the largest buildings in the world have welded to thank. So without welding, the United States infrastructure would collapse along with the economy. And what is welding in shortly position? So welding is a process of fusing two or more parts using heat, pressure, both. So it's often done on metal, thermoplastic, and even wood. So the resulting joint is known as a weldment, and the conjoined parts are known as parent material. So the material used to create the weldment is called a foiler or consumable or infrastructure is the best effectiveness. Because my dear guys, my dear and my favorite guys, my favorite audience, because a weld metal is a metal in welded joint which has been molten in the welding process and then solidified. It is usually mixture of any filler metal and the parent metal as well as any addition from the flux in the consumable and will have an as cost metallurgical structure and different functioning appointment I see. So which weld is mostly used, and I also prescribe in my previous video my dear guys, sealed metal arc welding stick is the most popular welding process. So it is a most versatile and uses the simplest equipment which can be used for making the different infrastructure. And discovered cold welding or cool welding? Reverend Desiglers. So discovery of cold pressure welding. Uh, Reverend Desglazer discovered that if he took two lead balls about 25 mm each in diameter, pressed them together and twisted them, then the two pieces would join together. So, dear audience, I think that my video and my idea inspired you much, and you can gain from my these ideas. I think for my best guys, more and more. So, dear audience, if my video and my idea inspire you, you subscribe my channel, please like my video and share my video. Thank you very much.